He's a video logger who lives in New York.
He lives in like Brooklyn, dude. He's got like an office.
Does he scratch the logo where you could still see it? Like the logo? Like he's advertising him scratching the logo off, or does he literally just
Nah, he just
scratch it
scratches it off so he's not.
He was just making the glasses in the video I watched. He's like, remember those white rim glasses that were all cool that I used to wear? He's like, well, I lost them. They're a fucking pain in the ass to make. So he walks you through the whole process of him making these glasses, and he takes off.
Hey, you want to ruin a perfectly pair of Ray-Bans? Yeah. Let me show you how to do it.
Yo,
Straight
he's
up.
tight though, bro. He just like slides through Manhattan on like a skateboard, like vlogging and shit. You seen that?
Removu, bro.
Dude, is that what he uses, the Removu?
I don't know.
No, he uses a Canon 80D, I'm
See,
pretty
Jesse
sure.
Man,
knows.
he's got too much stuff to do.
With a Video Micro Pro, he uses a big rig.
Oh, that's cool, man.
That's scary,
Alright.
man. You have that big one, you just be sliding around like that.
Hey, man. All right. I
Hey,
said I
man.
was going to say it, James. I'm saying it. But all right, guys, let's get into it. We're going to go live in 3, 2, 1. Hello, human listeners. Welcome back to the Modest Humanity Podcast.
What's up out there?
We got the usual squad back in it today for episode number 4. And I must say, that shit came up quick, y'all.
Dude,
Came up
Thought
real
about it
quick.
today, yeah.
It's crazy that it said 4.
flowing.
Yeah, man. And said, let's give a warm welcome to our second guest on the pod, Mr. Brandon Epperson. He's the co-founder of Desert Punks. It's tight, man.
Pretty
we got
tight.
this is like we
That
had
is
2
dope.
guests and they both named Brandon. So
Weird.
yeah, man.
You just
pretty
make that
tight.
a thing. It's just modest humanity featuring Brandon.
Yeah, man. And we
Just
and we
anybody
know
named Brandon.
next time we have some Brandons. We know we're gonna do some with the other Brandon. You know, I don't know if you want to come back and do another one, but we got the Brandons coming next time. I think, right? 2 Brandons. There's
What?
him and his business partner are both named
Are you
Brandon.
serious?
Get
so,
out of here.
so we had Brandon, and then now we have Brandon again, and we're gonna have the Brandons at some point.
Wow.
So you know,
That's the
Brandon's
niche
in the
right there.
abundance.
yeah,
bro.
man.
Got it.
All right, well, let's get
Dang.
into it. So to the left of me today, we have Bryce Beasley. He goes by Dancing Stone.
What's up? What's up?
Dancing Stone.
Over here, we got James Bullman.
Yo, what's
he
good?
goes by King James. Right now, we calling him Lil Franco, though.
Franco.
At King James.
He
I
said he was
there.
like James
Franco.
Franco. Yeah, he's
I did
Lil
not
Franco.
say that.
Franco,
I did not
though.
say that. I said if I had dreads, I would look like James Franco on
He's
Spring
Lil
Breakers.
Franco.
Don't get
That's
it
his
twisted,
name.
y'all. You didn't hear the conversation before
All
that.
right,
That's not
man.
what happened.
Hey, man.
I'm not offended, by the way.
All right, and at the end, we got Jesse Fulbright, Captain Oasis Multimedia Specialist. Check him out. He's the man. You need some work done, give him a call. All right, well, let's just dive right
Wait,
into it.
hang on.
Yeah,
Over
oh,
here,
what?
we got Marlon
Oh,
Roos.
yeah.
Who are you?
And I'm Marlon Bruce, Paul Rankin. What's good, y'all?
What's
I'm the host of the
good?
Modest Humanity Podcast, you know? So, all right, so let's get into our weekly updates. Let's start with Bryce. What's going on, man? What you been up to?
Man, energy has been flowing abundantly. Had a great week. Been doing Tai Chi. Been doing some vocal exercises, working on learning how to play and sing a new song. So
What song you working
yeah,
on?
like your song original? Or?
no, not an original. Just like I learned this Beatles song. Like I've been learning it over the past couple months. And my
Nice.
goal is to be able to sing it and play it by the end of May. So,
What song are you
Good
talking
goal,
about?
man.
While my guitar gently weeps.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing you put that together. You're starting to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
man.
got
I
it
want-
dialed in on the guitar, but just need to.
It's super hard to
I'm
kind of
singing.
synchronize it too. I feel
It
like.
is, yeah.
Definitely, like just going through the chord progressions and trying to hit like, yeah.
Hit the notes like with your vocals at like different times. Then you're strumming the notes on the guitar. It's kind of like a
I just get
It's a lot going on.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
man,
big
I'm
step
like
for you, man.
confused
Just
going through the chords sometimes. I'm like, I forgot what I'm doing here.
if you get the
Yeah,
whole thing
yeah.
front to back, that's gonna be a big step for you because I haven't seen that yet. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just trying to grow, man. Just
So,
soaking in
it's good.
information. Just trying to grow.
I want to ask you about the chef you ran into at Los Regatos real quick, just because I know you passionate about what happened that
Chef
day.
Johnny Brannigan.
Yeah,
I've
that
seen
guy
I've
seemed
seen
tight.
That. I seen that.
So I
Yeah,
went
I
and
saw that.
I went to work out at Los Regatos and I was like going out on the patio to do some rows and I bump into this character. He's got like a purple bandana on with his nails painted and beads and he like steps right into my bubble. Like kind of guy who just like kind of looks at you like this when he's talking, you know, like right up in your space. And I
He
just
ain't
took it.
scared,
I
man.
didn't back up, you know. I just took it and he introduced himself. And he told me he had a book on nutrition. It was like on Ayurvedic, like foods that you could cook. And I don't know much about Ayurvedic medicine. I need to like do some more research. But it was like a whole, like he ended up connecting me with another person. It was just kind of like a spiral of like good energy that day. So we might actually be getting him on the podcast,
That'd be
Johnny
tight.
Brannigan,
Yeah.
and the guy that
That'd be super sick, man.
that he introduced me to, or like kind of plugged me into. There was a sound healing. I'll tell this real quick. There was a sound healing going on downstairs, and he's like, I got a jet. I talked to him for like 30 minutes about meditation and the Maharishi in India, like teaching millions of people how to meditate, just like all this cool information. And he's like, I got a jet. I'm on my way to a sound healing downstairs. And so I go to this sound. I know he like asked me if I wanted to go. I'm like, yeah, sure. So he wasn't even there when I get down there. But there was this guy's name's Jesse Kalu, and he was playing these flutes that he had handmade out of bamboo. It was incredible.
It looked tight, man.
There was like women in there doing like birth therapy for their, like sound healing therapy for their kids, like in their in their stomachs.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty crazy.
yeah, it was.
Dang, I forgot my wife. Let me go get her real quick. So.
Yeah, it looked tight. You bought one of the flutes too, didn't you?
Yeah. I bought the flute.
I
Taught me
seen
how
you
to
messing
play
with
it, play it a little bit, and he gave me like the tablature to learn how to play Amazing Grace.
That's,
Wow.
that's just a cool day, man. Just unexpected, right?
It was, yeah.
That's an adventure
Yeah.
just popping out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
need
it's
one
cool.
of those. I need
Just
some
abundance.
I need something random to happen like that. Just take me on a path. I've been on a real linear path.
Follow your energy, man. Just follow your energy and don't put blockades on it and try and control things too much. It's the best advice I can give.
I'm on a
Just
schedule,
go
bro.
with the flow, though. Just go with the flow of
Yeah.
that schedule. Don't.
But that's why you always late too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be there at 5:30.
That makes sense.
That's why you
Advice.
always late,
That's
you know?
advice, yeah.
All right, man. Well, James.
Yo, what's
James,
good?
What's up with you, bro? What's
Man.
been the last week?
I've
for
been
you?
busy. I've been busy doing favors for people, which ain't bad, but I had to take some time for myself. I've been in the studio for a little bit, just messing around with certain things, recording a little bit, seeing how things are turning out, and just working, man. So
Not
I've been
making
pretty-
any beats in the studio? What you been
Yeah,
doing up
yeah.
in there?
I'm messing around with them. I'm trying to get used to things and trying to advance instead of just being more on the lyric side and vocalizing. I've been vocalizing for a while now, like on a streak. So I feel like I need to sometimes take a step back and kind of get back to the roots of the actual sound. So that's what I've been doing, man.
We finished the recording process of that track we've been working on too.
What track?
Yeah. Oh, you
Oh,
know,
you,
bro.
you
What's
know
it called?
Oh, you know.
that one where it's like, I'm not gonna do it on here.
Yeah.
You know the one.
What's the name of it though?
It's,
Go
you
ahead,
tell
go
me, you
ahead.
tell
It's-
me the name,
all
man.
right,
It's
all
your
right.
song. I
It's
just produced
It's called
it.
Lost Perception, man. It's a really good. It touches my heart in a place, man. It's a really good. It's really close
It's
to
very
me.
true. It's
Yeah.
very true to James right
yeah,
now.
just kind of like the other song that I'm putting out too. Starting to put out some real stuff, and I think it's gonna really be a really big thing for me. So, but it's called Lost Perception.
Do you think like working on the producer side of like actually creating the music helps with like the whole dynamic of like integrating the lyrics and everything else? You feel like it comes more natural when
Yes
you're
and
the
no.
actual person who's making the beat
feel
and
that.
everything else?
Yes and no, because I mean sometimes when you guys know when you guys are producing, when you're hearing it over and over again, you kind of lose the sense and energy.
Yeah.
But it's also good knowing like if you just go in there and feel it and then come back another day to record it, that'd probably be what you like wear both hats but on different days.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
But sometimes it does help. I'm just like, oh, I can make this sound like that, but I can also rap this part or whatever or sing this part. But other times it's just like I hear the same sound over
This
and
one
over
felt
again.
very real because you just kind of came in with lyrics. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And
We just built it.
made it happen. I just picked the guitar up and we made a beat that night, and
Yeah.
it's dope too. It's
I
a
remember
dope
me and
beat.
Jesse were editing the heat of love in the
Mhm.
studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember that? Just threw the
Mhm.
beat together right then and there, and it really that's like the final product too. Like as far
Nice.
as the beat goes, like other than that, we just added the vocals and some little guitar parts at the end, and I think that was it. We just
Man.
wrapped it.
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
excited
cool.
for you.
Right on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds cool. I'm ready to. I got to get in there and do some mixing and finish it up. So you got something. But yeah, I feel like that's like the realest track. As far as where you've been going, where you've been coming from. I think that's like the most real one.
Yeah, man.
Even
I
over
haven't-
questions? I like questions.
I mean,
a lot.
questions is
And I've only
fire.
heard
Don't
like
get me wrong.
Yeah,
I love
Questions
is tight.
questions. This one though, it's just like that ain't King James, bro. who is that guy?
That's how I felt about questions, bro. I think you're just leveling
That's what
up.
I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
It's
There's no turning back for you.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
No turning
I
back.
mean, and I can't just go back to what I was doing. You know what I mean? I might dabble and mess around, but I'm always gonna mess around with everything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very good progression for me. So
This one's James
excited.
Bullman. This one comes
Yeah.
from the heart. It feels like.
yeah,
with
it's
him.
really
Yeah,
yeah.
pulling out the depths. But all right, man. With Jesse, what's up, bro? What's been going on? I've heard you playing some music lately.
Been
Just
playing some
killing it.
instruments, bro.
Just killing it lately.
Singing my little heart out.
Did you do it? Did you do that gig that you're talking about?
I did not. And
Oh,
the reason
no.
why I didn't do it is because that morning I was.
Excuses, man. No excuses.
Hey, man, there's reasons and excuses, and you got to figure out which one, fits into what you're doing. But this actually was kind of an excuse. It was my bad though. I woke up late that day.
Oh man.
Went into work like 2 hours late,
That's worst, man.
and
That's the worst.
I didn't like get all my stuff together.
Yeah, there's always next time, man.
Yeah.
You know,
The
especially
dude-
with gigs. You know.
Yeah, the dude said he's not worried about it. He said he completely forgot. I walked up to him. I was like, I'm so sorry, man. I can't do it tonight. He's just like,
Do what?
he's like, I forgot.
Who are
My
you
coworker
again?
was like, if you didn't even say anything, he wouldn't even remembered. I was like, dang. But
Damn.
It's better than
Where-
rushing it too, though, because if you're rushing it, you're
yeah, I
like,
want to
have
get more
this-
material too. You know what I mean? Like,
Where was your gig at?
it's actually where I work, the Sedona Rouge Hotel and Spa.
Okay,
It's in the
sick.
restaurant part. It's called Reds.
That restaurant's dope though. That seems like a
pretty
cool little
nice.
place to
It's a
just
nice little
sit down
atmosphere.
and jam out on the guitar for a little bit and
Yeah.
get paid to do it. That's a win if you ask
I
me.
wonder if you
know?
got to stay on the clock for it, or if you're being paid through
I mean,
through what you're normally being paid, or what?
it's a different wage than what I get paid doing Bellman stuff.
Right.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just
It's
like,
a
I
higher
wonder-
wage. It's not as many hours, but it's a higher wage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Chef-
pay you by
that
the
makes
hour.
sense.
Chef Johnny was telling me they do the Ayurvedic healings at Sedona Rouge. Have you seen anything like that going on?
No, but there's stuff coming through all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably see something now that that name is in my head, but just I haven't really noticed. You know?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool, man.
But
That's
I,
cool.
bought, I bought some Class D speakers. I don't know if
Oh,
you've been hearing
yeah.
those. I bought the first generation Mackie SRM 450, and then I just bought a second generation Mackie SRM 450.
For
So
the
now I got
listeners.
3 Class D speakers.
For
Is
the
that-
listeners, it's just
Let's
baller,
go.
man. It's like you could buy a cheap speaker and you guys wouldn't be happy. You'd think everybody sounds like shit. But if you hear this speaker, like it makes you sound like gold. You
Is
know
that the
what I
one
mean?
with the black and the
Crispy.
and the yellow speaker part that you got? What it?
No, he got
I'm talking-
Class D. He's talking about big boy.
I'm talking about
speakers.
like big
like
live
concert
speakers.
Oh.
Yeah, he got this is a nice speaker.
Like
yeah.
rumble the
monitor.
house.
Yeah,
Oh.
good gear,
Throw
man.
a show out in the desert. The
That'd be
desert
dope.
punks.
That'd be cool for a
With the
video.
Punks, yeah.
Side note.
Well, I've been up to I mean,
What you been up to, man? What you been doing?
I've
been up to,
man,
Marlon
let me tell
Roos?
you what I've been up to, man. I've been getting back in the gym. Been hitting that. So my health is
shit.
loving me lately. I started taking nootropics. You know, I've been, you guys all know I've been trying these nootropics out. I took them the last 3 days. Today I took the full supplement.
Oh.
And bro, I feel like an animal today, bro. I got into
Joe
work.
Rogan takes that for his podcast,
Yeah,
right?
he takes it for his podcast. He said but you know,
What's the name of it?
I took the Alpha Brain
The Alpha Brain.
on it Alpha Brain. Yeah, they made me feel like they don't make you feel crazy, but I mean they do feel a little crazy because
Driven
I
focus.
feel like I felt a little twitch behind my eye. I was telling you, and you said
You're
you
like,
kind
you're
of
that
felt it,
crazy
right?
guy, like-
Yeah,
In the tooth.
yeah. I took them the first day and I was like, I don't know what to expect, and I thought maybe it's a placebo, you know what I mean? But I took it and then I felt a little twitch behind my eye, and then I was out of nowhere. I was just like hella productive. I'm somebody that gets scattered all over the room, you know
Yeah,
what I
you are.
mean? So man,
So
Okay.
but yeah, no, I just honed in, just knocked out a bunch of work. But yeah, just trying to get the health in check. You know, just trying to focus on some recording tactics, you know, with some music. So, you know, we've got a little bit more cumulative knowledge to create some stuff in the future. Just reading about investing, just picking up the books, you know.
You finished
So-
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wrap that up.
I'm a little curious. What's like the active ingredient in this? Like, I know a lot of them is just caffeine. A lot of them
Yeah.
are something
B12.
similar to that, B12, and
Methamphetamine.
you know, kind of like
What?
a
Methamphetamine,
cocktail
yeah.
of all these kind of just like, you know, not amphetamine, but they're definitely a stimulant, and like
Yeah.
you have that huge like that spike and then that crash, and it's like almost like foggier than when you started, kind of thing.
This one has lion's mane in it.
So the mushroom, right?
Yeah, the mushroom,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
mushroom extract.
definitely.
That stuff, man. But I was
Love it.
reading on this that it can cause you to have lucid dreams.
Yeah,
And
extremely.
dope.
Dude.
Have you had some? Because you were telling me that you've taken some nootropics.
So there was multiple. I mean,
I'm
I've tried.
talking to the mic.
Sorry,
There you go.
my
There you
bad.
go,
So
man.
I've tried. I mean, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. So there's lion's mane. There's something that starts with a T. I actually got it in one of the farmers markets in Sedona. But
Yeah.
like they have a tincture version of it, and like this stuff's supposed to be like super cancer killing and like makes
Really?
you
Is
super
it
crazy
turmeric?
lucid dreams. Not turmeric. It's
Taurine. Just kidding.
I don't know. It's some crazy. Joe Rogan actually talked about it a little bit. Actually, the spore itself attaches to caterpillars and like.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Dope.
it's crazy.
Damn,
it's crazy
that's
how
nature.
it's.
How long have you been taking the nootropics? Because I know you said that.
So it's not necessarily a nootropic. So kratom is.
Oh, right, kratom.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a nootropic. A lot of people use it for like
Pain.
Pain. A lot of people use it for mood. Depending on what strain it is, it's all depending on how it's fermented. So, kratom in its core is actually related to like
Coffee.
Coffee,
Yeah.
exactly.
Really?
So it's the same family of like coffee, but they actually take the leaves of it. They crush the leaves and starting to sound like Coke or something, but no, they take the leaves, they crush them, and they ferment them, and through the different processes. Whatever, how do you say that? Processes. They have different, like they have a white strain, a gold strain, a green strain, and like the white is more of like a stimulant, and then you have the green, which is more of like a mood and like kind of like an all around euphoria that you feel, and then you have red that's like very closely related to like a opioid, like an oxy or whatever else, but
Really?
but it's actually like I've done so much research on it because I've been back and forth on
And
it.
people are hating on it too, man.
Dude, yeah, the FDA
kratom,
is getting
yeah,
their
yeah.
hands in everything. Like the amount of
heroin.
people that I've seen help like get off of opioids, whether it be pills, heroin, whatever, crazy. The withdrawal from kratom is similar to like caffeine, so you're not
Oh,
getting
wow.
all those like dope sickness kind of similarities that you get with like an opioid. So there's so many different things. I take it on and off for mostly mood, but it's like a stimulant, almost like a cup of coffee for me, dude. Like I can sit down and do my homework. I'm super ADD, super scatterbrained, like, and it's one of those things that actually get me focused and doing my shit and not. There's no crash like coffee. You don't like. You're not staying up all night like you're.
That's so crazy you said
it's
that.
crazy, man.
I was thinking about that today because I took the Alpha Brain at like 10 o'clock, and usually I drink coffee, around like 11, 12. I keep drinking it, just to stay in it.
Yeah,
while I'm working.
definitely.
And I didn't take any today, and I was busy as fuck today. And I got a lot done, just honed in, man. It was like, it's really weird. It's pretty strange, but, I don't know. I was reading people like gives them headaches and all this stuff, and like I haven't had headaches or anything.
You probably stay really hydrated though. It all has to do with like your personal
Food.
hygiene, health,
Food
and
and
everything else,
water.
man. Like,
everything else, yeah. But have you had the dreams though? Have you had any crazy
dude,
dreams?
lucid. Okay, so the lucid dreams off of it was like a lion's mane and a couple other things that actually induce like a lot of lucid dreaming. The last couple of nights been super crazy, but not has anything to do with any kind of nootropics. But
dude, I had some crazy. The first night I took it probably like 2 o'clock, and then I went to sleep that night and just had the wildest dreams.
Bro.
Like I had a dream I was on like some orange planet on vacation, and when I was there, I was like, building it up. When
was
I
it
went.
Mars?
It looked like Mars, except like if Mars had been like populated by humans and there were like trees.
So
growing.
Mars.
Yeah, kind of like that, but not quite.
You saw the
It
future.
was like
Day.
very future Mars, very future Mars.
Hey,
but
hey,
I
but
think
we
Bryce
don't-
was in it. I think you were there, just like playing video games.
Just
You
kicking
weren't
it in
doing
his
much. You
dreams.
weren't a very vital
Playing
part
video
of it.
games.
Yeah,
Who
you were
plays
just like,
video
what?
games on Mars?
Yeah,
bro?
you were like, it was like a
Jumping around.
glass house. Yeah, it was weird, man. But ended up getting like raided by cops, and it was a weird game or
And
a
that-
weird dream, man. Like I don't know.
Weird
Lucid
game.
dreams
Yeah.
Sounds like a game.
Felt
bro.
like a game.
Yeah,
dude. When you're
bet.
lucid dreaming, it's really like you're making it happen almost.
Dude, you almost
know?
feel like you don't aren't rested as much when you wake up. Almost like I feel like I was just never
Yeah.
asleep, man. Like,
yeah, you feel like you never went
everything's firing off in your brain. It
Black
sucks
never
sometimes.
happened. Well, cool, dude. I just want to, because we're on like a crunch for the first half. I wanted to have you talk about Desert Punks. Just give you a moment to kind of get into it. Like let's talk about you real quick. Like, where are you from? How old are you? Like, what's your background?
I'm 21. I was actually born in Oklahoma City. I moved to Phoenix when I was like a little baby, actually.
Oh, wow.
Moved all over the place, but basically about 13 years old, I moved up to Cottonwood, the Verde Valley area, and graduated from Mingus, all that cool stuff. Now I work up in Sedona. I just moved there a couple months ago, doing this candle thing, which is pretty awesome. We do
Those
these.
are tight, man.
Dude, they're pretty
cool.
sick.
They're tight.
They're pretty sick. So they're all just like hand-carved candles, everlasting, cool. You almost have to just see them to believe them. It doesn't do us justice.
I've
as
seen
talking
them. They're
about.
awesome.
Yeah, if I were to,
Everlasting.
Yeah, so like basically now I'm gonna give my spiel like I'm at work, but basically you burn them down about halfway, and the whole thing's made out of wax, but you just refill them with little tea light candles. You have it. I'm not supposed to say forever, but it's a forever candle.
Where is this place?
It's in Uptown Sedona. We actually have 3 shops up there. We've all opened up in the last couple of years. They've been that whole little niche has been in Sedona for a long time. But our company is a lot newer. But yeah, we're on the main kind of touristy strip up in.
I'm about to come
Uptown
check
Sedona.
it out.
Yeah, what's
Dude,
it called?
for real.
Pictures are
Sedona,
awesome, man.
Sedona Candle Magic, actually.
okay, that's
They're
good.
very cool looking candles, man. Like you could tell that
Beautiful
there's
work.
like, and you say you do them by hand, right?
Yeah, man, everything's hand carved. They're dipped, and we have like a couple of vats of a molten wax, all paraffin wax. So we dip them in like translucent layers. So when you burn them, they glow. They have that cool glow effect to them. But they're all hand carved in about 10 minutes with this in Exacto.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
Aren't you like scared of messing it up? You're like,
Oh,
it's
bro.
going through this whole process.
So
Just melt
the
it
cool
and start
thing
again.
about wax, it's pretty forgiving. Just like any other kind of medium, if you feel comfortable with it, there's a way to kind of cover up your mess ups to make it seem,
okay.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
So I want to know about Desert Punks. What's how did you get started with that? Who's your business partner?
So it's my boy Nick. He actually had this whole thing with one of his buddies down in Phoenix. He moved up here from Phoenix a while ago, and he just started tagging he's a crazy artist, super cool guy. You should look him up on Instagram. His handle is Peyote Coyote, actually. So. But anyway, he does right. It's pretty cool. But he just used to start tagging his stuff with Desert Punks all the time, and his buddy kind of pushed him to be like, yo, you should make that a thing. So he started this Instagram, and then we linked up through, he works in this restaurant where one of our kiosks, or candle kiosks are. And basically I was kind of like, I would say the brains behind it. But I mean, we both have an artistic flair, and he has kind of he's more artistic, I would say, than me, but I'm really business driven. So we put 2 and 2 together, and it's just kind of been taken off.
That's
And-
great,
team,
man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
what you
man.
need.
It's definitely came a long way from where it first started. We just it's kind of hard to explain what Desert Punks is, honestly, because it's not just a t-shirt company or a sticker company or all of the above. It's more of like a collective of all these artists in the Southwest. We try to create this platform where everyone feels comfortable
Awesome.
going and kind of just showcasing their own stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and honestly, like what my goals and what our goals and our vision, what we're thinking about doing is actually just we have this website going right now. It's just desertpunks.com. We want to have featured artists on there. It's kind of like an online art gallery type of
That's
thing.
cool.
But in the long run, we want to be able to put any kind of medium, so whether it's oil painting or doodles or whatever, and put that into like a merchandise kind of format. So on a T-shirt or whatever else, we want to auction off that original piece and donate it to something that is actually worthwhile, worth the shit. So whether it
That's
be
great.
That's some cool
For the
shit right
betterment
there,
of
man.
humanity.
yeah, I
Right-
mean,
right there.
honestly,
Yeah.
like art supplies for the Boys and Girls Club, or the shit, art supplies that they have at Mingus, like being able to kind of give back and be like, look at, no matter if you're working that 9-to-5 job, like there's still, we want you to express yourself. We want you to, go out there
And that's
Yeah.
so important,
Right on,
man. I
man.
can't
That's
stress
awesome.
that enough, man. Because when you're working all damn day and you try to come home and it's hard to get off that work, that's what you go to is that art. And
yeah, man.
if you're
Sometimes it's
able
their
to-
only release, and a lot of people
Man.
do a lot of unhealthy things to have that kind of
Yeah.
that mental release. And art is one of the only kind of venues that I've seen that be, consistent. Like, I feel good every single time I do it,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah,
If we can
definitely.
teach the younger kids to be creative at an early age, as opposed to, wait until they're in their 20s and then being like, oh, it's totally cool to be creative.
oh yeah,
You
to
know,
be
like-
yourself instead of having that
Yeah.
whole kind of like stigma behind,
we put
like,
them
you
ahead
can't.
of it.
Yeah, man.
Ahead of everything. That's, I mean, I don't know. I think personally, because, you were telling me about that book that you're reading.
Yeah, the linchpin. So that kind of ties into my job and kind of a whole bunch of different things. But basically, the true artist is something that's indispensable. Like, there's no way to replace a true artist. I mean, you can be this cog in this machine, and once that cog breaks, you can put another cog in there. But if you make yourself indispensable through art of interaction, through talking to people, through carving candles, it doesn't matter if you work on cars, man. You can be an artist at your
Damn straight.
at your trade. So I
Damn
mean,
straight.
and it's such a good book, so much to cover in a couple of minutes. But if you have the time, read that book, Linchpin by, I think it's Seth Gordon.
I'm going to read that. That's
Yeah,
right up
man,
my alley.
definitely.
It's right up my alley.
Sounds great.
But yeah, man, that's great. So that's like your vision for the business then? You really just want to...
Yeah, man, it's never ending. It's never ending.
It's going to go on forever, huh?
Yeah.
So do you have artists lined up already that you're going to put on, or do you need...
Yeah. So I mean, there is a couple people that I work with that do some like glass pendants and just kind of like homegrown stuff, like and we want to be able to put their prints and stuff on the website. And we even commissioned our last run of T-shirts is actually commissioned through this guy in Nebraska, like super cool. His name is Codangus on Instagram. And super rad artist, and he does a lot of Southwestern stuff, but he's from Nebraska. I don't know, but he's super rad.
If you need some art, you know who we should get him linked up with?
Rhino Budson.
Ryan Hudson. He always calls him Rhino Budson. So
Rhino.
Yeah, but Rhino Budson, I guess, on Instagram. He's the man. If you guys got linked
I would
up,
check that guy out.
that would be cool. He's like a really dope artist.
What does he do? What's his medium?
He does he draws, but
Okay,
he's
cool.
fantastic artist, man. He does Jesse's artwork for stuff
Like album
he's-
covers and stuff? Or?
Yeah, he's killer, man. He's killer.
Like
Damn, dude, yeah.
anthropomorphism.
I don't know. It just his
Faces on
style is
inanimate
like
objects.
I've not seen anything else like it. There's
Never.
like similar stuff, but he's just like he found this like niche that he just like ran with, and it's just like
That's the
it's
signature,
tight.
man.
Yeah,
But he
Yeah.
found it when he was a kid.
No,
you know what I'm
he's had it
saying?
for a
Like,
long
he had-
time.
when I went to school with him, and you went to school with
I've
him.
known him
and
since we were in diapers.
when we were, I mean, they've been at it for a long time. But I remember when I first saw him, I was like, this guy is really talented, even as a kid, and that comes from somewhere. So the fact that you're trying to, do these types of
Just trying
things
to
that
put
you can
everyone
give
on,
back.
man.
Yeah,
Nice.
just
You're
put 'em-
highlighting it,
Yeah,
man.
we need more people like you. We need more people like Ryan Hudson. More artists.
Give back to
just
the
to
community.
I really like
fuel
what's
everything.
happening in the Verde Valley right now. to be
Yeah,
completely
it's-
honest. Like
This is
for
like,
sure.
the modest raw movement. You know what I mean? And then this
Yeah.
desert punks movement. Like
It's cool.
I feel like people are coming together around here and not really like a competition anymore. It's like let's get these wins together. Like
Yeah, man.
you said, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
definitely.
it's tight.
Stacking them.
Yep, that's it.
Tight to see people helping people out here.
to
Well,
see-
guys,
oh.
sorry, we're running about 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and wrap up the first half. Mr.
it up.
Brandon Epperson, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks
The
for having
man.
me on, guys.
All right, we'll be
Yeah.
right back,
Man.
guys. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah, you don't gotta be so angry.
You're a rock star, bro. Oh, whatever. Just break shit. Fuck shit up.
I told you it's easy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't it feel like 5 minutes past? It does, right? Hey, dude, it's not dark yet. What's going on?
Whoa, watch that water there.
Just trying to straighten the carpet up.
Watch that water. Consuela.
Consuela.
Jesse, I need to talk to you.
Straightening out the carpet.
I had an idea today about some visual effects for the video.
Okay.
I was thinking about maybe like a monopod.
For
but-
questions?
No. Well, I don't know. It could be used for anything, but I had a really good idea of like me doing my thing, and then like me like going to grab the camera.
$45.
Like, get the
She
fuck
was
out
like,
of
"Get
here.
the fuck, this is my fucking set." She was legit. She's like, yeah, she was serious. So they're from Canada.
Yeah, it's so hard to make it in like photography business because anyone can just buy a camera, you know.
Yeah, but that's gangster. These pictures are tight.
Yeah, dude, we're
That-
going
ooh.
out tomorrow after.
We ready?
Tomorrow night.
Oh,
we're going to Sunset.
What?
Sunset Fest.
Are we back
Where
in
was
it?
that at?
It's just all.
Wow,
Hey guys,
that's way cool.
That right there, though, was. Oh,
Can I
man.
just- okay, let's go.
There you go. Other side. There you go.
Just put it on.
No, you had it right.
Yeah.
All right. We back in it for
Yeah.
the second half. All right, guys. So, hey, man, we're just going to talk about a little bit of topics. Now, hey, I just want to ask you guys a question, man. What do you guys think needs more media coverage? Like, what do you individually think, like, the world should know more about that's not getting coverage because of Donald Trump or, marijuana or whatever, all the popular
Shit that's
stuff.
not
Yeah,
that's not
or
important.
Kanye West or whatever is popular right now. It's always something. I don't know
What
right now, but-
distraction is distracting what, you know?
What's distracting people? Yeah, like what's the thing that people
Food.
are getting distracted from?
Yeah, definitely food.
Awareness
Like
about what
food,
we're eating,
water.
drinking, what's in our water. Yeah.
Water
Yeah.
consumption.
Water consumption, just like where it comes from, and
Yeah.
or more or
Resources.
less how we're
It's
using
just
it.
it's just like there. You know
We're
what
on
I
a
mean?
crisis though, man.
I think they don't want to scare nobody. You know what I'm saying?
The trash
Well-
situation, more coverage
The
on the
earth.
trash.
Man.
What's that trash
fucking
island?
earth.
Yeah, the Pacific trash vortex. Yeah, that's
Oh
it
yeah,
right
I
there.
seen
Trash
that. You showed me
Island.
that.
It's 2 times the size of Texas. It might be bigger now. I don't know.
Holy,
Yeah.
in
those-
the
Well,
middle
it's
of the
got to
Pacific?
grow every
Those things
day,
need some
right?
coverage.
It was 2 times the size of Texas, and then they actually built this like kid built this big rig to go. It was pretty tight how he built it. He built this huge rig that floats on top of the water like this, and then they put a weight down at the bottom, right? Because the current actually moves slower at the bottom, so the trash would just move at the same pace as like the big net that they had up there. So they put this big weight at the bottom, and the current moves slower, so the big weight would be like back here, and it would slow down the net. So didn't require any power, nothing.
like an
All the
anchor.
trash would just like get sucked up into it. It would just like collect all of it.
It's
and
like a
they could
little
just,
underwater
the
sail
vortex.
kind of thing.
dude. Kind of, yeah, but it just like the weight from the weight and then the current like just kind of slowed it down, so all the trash would move faster into it, and then they just take the net and they just like scoop it up, and they call it like the Pacific or like the Ocean Cleanup Project or
Didn't
something
a
like
kid
that.
figure
Oh,
this
yeah.
out or something?
Yeah, he was like 17 or so. I don't know how old he was, but he's like real young when you look at him. He
Oh,
looks
let's
like
go.
he's like
So we've-
17.
We got that problem wrapping up then. That's
Kind of. I think they like got it out there, and then I think they had some like issues with it or something. But that's like the only company that's trying to fix the trash problem.
And that's only in
40
one
Ocean
area.
though. 40 Oceans cleaning up. They make those bracelets out of plastic
Is
bottles.
that the same?
$20 for a bracelet?
Is that the same company?
No, it's a different company.
It's a different company.
Yeah, 40 Ocean.
But is that really like saving?
Yeah, anything
look,
that's like monetary gain like that, like I don't know, man. I feel like there's some underlying like nonprofit.
Yeah.
Is it really nonprofit? Like,
I like to
somebody's
think-
profiting, you know?
I like to think my money's going to the organization though to help them keep doing what they're doing, to pay the people for food and resources to supply
but
them.
let's be clear,
That's
man.
what I hope for.
They're making plastic bracelets. So they like scoop up all the plastic, and then they make like
Melt
more
it down.
bracelets.
Yeah.
And then, so they melt all the plastic down, and they make all these bracelets, and did the bracelets end up back in the ocean?
Well,
You know-
would you throw a $20 bracelet?
yo.
Would you throw a $20 bracelet?
That's so
On the
dark.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
just like a-
and
That was a turn.
and in the
bro.
middle, there's like a non-profit, and all these people get jobs and stuff, and that's cool. But like, there's just a non-profit in the middle. You know what I tell people now? You know what I say to like my girl if I see her, like my cousin, or I probably say it to any of you guys. If I
You
saw
say
you.
it,
If
yeah.
there's plastic and you guys are putting in the trash, I'm like, oh, so you're just gonna throw that in the ocean, huh?
Mm.
That's what
Makes
I
them
say. to
feel
people.
so bad, so
Makes
bad.
people
So, like,
feel so bad, bro.
I'll
They,
just carry it. All right.
yeah, dude,
To be honest with you, I had an eye-opening experience. I think it was either today or yesterday, and we were talking about going for like the vape shop. We get these bottles, and we were talking about turning them in, and then we were gonna make like a chip and like melt these down and turn into like a plastic box, like a reusable box, and stuff, and like give them away and stuff. But I was talking to it about somebody, and I'm like, I go through a bunch of these, you know what I'm saying, and then I just
Yeah.
normally throw them away. And I look at my toolbox, and I see like 5 of them, empty ones, chilling there, and I'm like, I normally throw those away, and I'm like, how much fucking plastic? This thing's fucking hard. How much plastic am I using and throwing away from these vape juice bottles?
you refill
know what
them?
I'm saying? No,
Yeah,
because it's a
not-
sanitary
yeah,
issue.
I mean, you can refill them yourself, but it's totally like has to be a clean room. Has to be. It's like using a dirty plate and giving it back to the kitchen. And be like, give me some more food. They don't
Yeah.
do
oh
that.
man,
Like I can't refill
Yeah.
your cup. I have to get you a new cup. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So yeah, I'm throwing all this shit away, and I'm like, man, I gotta do something. I'm about to get a glass bottle like they used to do.
The glass takes just as long to break down, though, man. It's made out of the same stuff.
But I mean, like reusing it though, like would it be better? You know what I'm saying?
I mean-
like a water bottle. Like I would reuse a water bottle. Would it be?
Per FDA, you have to use a new like non-used like container. Like you can't even back in the day when we used to do it. Like that was a cool thing, but you can't reuse anything through the clean room.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Man, I used to use, you guys know, I used to have like plastic. I used to buy like cases of plastic bottles. But you guys saw how much plastic was laying around after that because everybody
Uses a lot of plastic.
Well, it's
Everybody
really
needed water.
convenient. It's not convenient
is.
anymore, but it was super convenient because everybody was always in and out of the studio here. But I just remember how much plastic there'd be, And now I switched to, the 5-gallon jug, and I just refill the like 1 gallon, and it's so cheap too, dude. Like I don't even
Way
feel like
cheap, man.
Or something.
I don't even feel like I spend money. I go and like pay like $2 in this thing. I just put like quarters in, just fills it up, just bring it back. 15 cents a gallon, like a brand new gallon of water. Like people buy brand new gallons of water over and over again, and the gallon will be like $1.29.
And you got to think about all that stuff that's like breaking down.
Is that a new
inside.
boutle?
It was a new bottle.
Oh
Bought
man!
this yesterday.
See, if you
Last night,
fill it,
actually.
it's 15 cents.
But-
15 cents to fill. The bottle's $1.29, brand new.
Yeah, yeah,
But you could reuse the plastic though.
yeah. That's what I was saying before. But with that thing,
Not for long though.
But not for, you can't do with that though.
no, man. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
so
I got to
sweet.
do something. I got to figure something out. I've been collecting them now.
Yeah.
Like, I got to figure something out, dude.
I think we should stop trying to figure out where to put all the trash and just make something that's gonna break down or make some kind of enzyme or something that eats plastic. I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist.
But then
All I
again,
know
though,
is-
like, because I thought about that, I was like, are they going to send this plastic to space that'll help us out? And then I realized that's fucking fossil fuels that's
you can't
making
send
the
it to
plastic.
space. You could at least break it down and use it for something.
Reuse it, yeah.
Something useful. But
then you have all those carcinogens that are burning off of trying to melt down the plastic and everything else. It's
That's
eating
true.
holes in the ozone, whatever, man.
just killing us either way.
We're killing ourselves.
Man, we
Every
just
day.
Dug ourselves in a pit.
Yeah, I gotta get me a Starbucks cup because I go to
Did
Starbucks.
you hear that about the
I go to
enzyme somewhere?
Bro, I got like 5 you can have.
Honestly, I feel like I've seen it somewhere.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, like some kind of like little bacteria or something. Like a little macro close up of these little things eating plastic.
Yeah,
like, I feel like I've seen it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That sounds cool, man.
But like, how much is it produce? Like, how much does it cost to like, actually
happen.
produce those like enzymes, and how much? I don't know, man. It's money and everything. We should be able to have a cure to cancer
I think
by
we're
now.
smart
but
enough.
there's
Oh,
way
I
more
think
money.
there is a cure to cancer. Don't
Oh,
get me started.
there is, but it's
Yeah.
just it's way cheaper just to keep feeding people pills and drugs and treatment because it's
There's more
them
money
more
in
money.
that,
Yeah.
Instead of just like being like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the cure. Yeah, we talk about that. That's our favorite
yeah.
thing
you
to
know there's
bring
a
up.
Hep C cure. Have you seen that? I didn't know there was an actual cure for that. I keep seeing like commercials like
Is there?
a Hep C cure. It was like the only cure to hepatitis C. Like that's the only thing I remember from the commercial. I'm like, that's just curable. Like,
Really?
yeah.
My dad has Hep C. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, tell him to watch the commercial. no offense.
All right.
Like,
no, I just
like,
got
I
to
didn't-
figure out what commercial. What are you talking about? You know the commercial?
Truvada. Truvada?
Truvada. Is that the one where they're talking about they're like dancing and like
Oh,
playing
yeah, no,
frisbee, and
that's
then they're
something-
like,
that's like-
yeah, side effects may include heart attack,
No.
dizziness,
Instant
stroke.
death.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, no, that's something to do with like prevention of HIV, I think. But it's something like that. Like I see it late night on Comedy Central.
I
and
know
on, like, South
Truvada. I've
Park.
heard of it. I just
Late
don't
night
remember.
Comedy Central. That's where
Yeah,
the
the late
gems are,
show.
man.
Dude, yeah.
Did you guys
Yeah.
watch? Did you guys ever watch the Girls Gone Wild commercials?
Oh
at
yeah,
night?
late at night.
Dude.
When you're
when I
like
was a
12,
kid-
you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I saw
you
a
didn't-
tit.
We didn't have the internet
Explicit
No,
like
bro.
that. So blurred titties were way better than like
No
than
titties?
nothing than
Yeah.
no titties. I
Yeah.
would prefer. Yeah, they'd be like
forgot
the,
about that.
the hottest girls on spring break going wild. They'd be like, woo! That was my favorite, dude. I love.
During
I
episodes
love.
of Chappelle Show or something.
Oh
Watch
yeah,
it.
dude.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they finally
midnight.
Yeah, they started doing all the seasons again on Comedy Central. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
Chappelle
man.
Show?
Yeah, they were airing like 1 through 6 or something.
That was like the best show they ever had on.
Oh
there.
yeah.
yeah. Then he took off to Africa.
What's the
Oh,
conspiracy about
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I was about to say I have no idea. What
You don't
I just
know?
know he came out
Okay.
of like nowhere again.
So Chappelle Show, he did like season 1 and 2, and then they tried to write him a $40 million
It's not Johnny Cash,
contract,
though.
dude. $40 million. He was okay. And let's be clear, like $40 million. Like you'd be like, oh, Dave Chappelle's rich as fuck, but like this is season 2. Like season 3, they're like, okay, it's $40 million contract. He straight walks away and just takes off. He filmed like 2. I don't know if you guys ever saw. There's like 2 or 3 episodes where Wayne Brady.
Yeah,
was
they were
like,
the ones hosting it.
yeah, him and then like the other 2 guys like hosted it. There was like 3 episodes, and they're just like all the extra scenes that they filmed for season 3. But he just pieced out, bro. He was just like, and then later you could see like videos of him like talking to Oprah, talking about like saying that like I don't even know what he said, man. He said something about like his creative integrity was like under attack by like higher power and something like that. But pretty much like being really loose about what he was talking about. But I saw him telling Kevin Hart said that Dave Chappelle told him, he said, whatever you do, he said like he said no matter how much money they like give you, he said don't sell who you are. So, you know what I mean? Like, so the entertainment industry, like, you hear stuff like that all the time.
Stuff, bro.
Yeah.
He even said, because what was that movie? Half Baked, right? He was in it, and whoever else. I don't know the other actors' names, but he like wrote and produced that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And he even said that like that didn't
Jamie,
come
can
out
we get-
like
I'm
he
just
like he
kidding.
wanted. You pull that up for us. But yeah, he said that like. That project wasn't like what he wanted to put out, kind of like you're saying, because of like the industry, like
They get their hands wrapped all over you.
yeah, they kind of forced him in this direction. He said it was like that I don't like quote this like perfectly, but like a kid weed movie instead of like the weed movie that he wanted to
The
do.
adult movie. He's pretty raw.
Yeah.
He likes to keep it raw. That movie, I don't even really like that movie.
That guy is tight.
To be
Me,
honest
me
with
and
you.
him have the same birthday.
Really?
I'm very much a Dave Chappelle fan.
Yeah, me too,
For
man.
sure.
I feel like if you grew up with Dave Chappelle, I mean, because now a lot of kids don't even know who Dave Chappelle is.
No, dude.
You know?
My
My
know
girl
who Kevin
doesn't.
Hart is, and
They know Kevin Hart, though. Yeah.
everybody
Eddie
knows.
Murphy
Yeah.
is starting to blur out of like the younger scene too, and he was like the staple,
The
man. as
man.
well.
Oh yeah,
Even
he
I
was the
remember
energy,
him.
man.
Laid the path for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Delirious.
Yeah, the industry, man, the industry will get their claws wrapped into everybody, dude. Everybody. But I think it's kind of cool that now it seems like as content creators, people have like so much freedom, dude. Like you have YouTube. I mean, the only thing you can't do is you can't like curse if you want to get paid and all that. They have all kinds of demonetization rules. But for the most part, like Jesse can make like a video of him just going out and doing his day, and like people will watch it. You know what I mean? Like
anything
you could do
want.
anything.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, like this wouldn't have been a thing. You know what I mean? So the fact that we could just go make an
No, this
hour and a
was-
half long
yeah.
movie and promote it ourselves, like that's pretty cool. Without having to have like
have a platform for it.
yeah, some huge like big media company like putting us on. I mean, today like those companies are when it comes to like the music industry, they're putting on like Post Malone. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do is they like create a Post Malone, or they create like a like Joyner Lucas or something. Like he signed with like Atlantic Records, like one of the biggest like record companies. Like if you want to be
And now he's
that,
off of it.
that's who you sign with. But how much are you giving when you do that? I don't really know about Joyner Lucas, but I imagine there's a lot of guidelines. Like Post Malone probably couldn't go do a folk album. Like he said he wanted to do a folk album. If he put
No
that
way.
out, that'd be corny.
Joyner
That'd
Lucas,
be
Joyner
it'd kill
Lucas
his image.
couldn't put a lot of the stuff that he wanted out just because of it, and that's why he kind of got away from that. And he's just like, I'm coming out. That's my last song with the album. Now he's working on. He actually just dropped a song today, man.
I saw that. Did
Yeah,
he? Wait,
today.
did he left
Yeah.
that label? Didn't he?
He left it. He's independent now.
He said, "Screw that," and went.
I was like, dude,
yeah.
fucking, you gotta get with Dr. Dre and Eminem, man. Be on there with Kendrick, bro. I was like, damn. But no, he's independent though.
Man,
So-
it's going
but he
back
dropped
to
a song today. That one is really good. You need to listen to that. The
What's it
Devil's. Oh shit. Devil's.
saw it.
Devil's something.
I saw like the video on Instagram.
Devil's
It looked
Plan.
alright.
Kind of like God's plan, but Devil's plan or something like that. But he's talking about like Nipsey Hussle and all the people. He went raw, bro. He was talking about the people that are alive now
Sounds like it's
that
good.
should die to replace the real ones that died. Like he's like, give me back Tupac and take this guy instead. You know what I'm saying?
shit.
And he
Oh,
has the
snap.
people that are alive, like Donald Trump
Man.
and shit. He has them, their casket already laid with their picture. He goes raw, and I don't know how I feel about it, but at the end, he's like, I know this ain't your work, and I'm sorry if I'm going against you, but in the end, I know it's the devil's plan, kind of thing.
Let
And
me
so
hate
it's
real
like,
quick.
Yeah.
Let me hate
yeah,
real
back
quick,
up.
man.
Go ahead.
Let me hate.
Well, because
okay.
I was like weird on it too, man. Don't get me wrong. I
Look,
was like, what the fuck's going on?
Did you guys watch The Walking Dead? Then you guys watch The Walking Dead.
I seen the first season.
Okay,
Yeah.
check it out. I
I
watched
saw a
The
little
Walking
bit of
Dead, and there's a reason why the show wasn't good after a while. There's a reason why everybody stopped watching it. Is because they had to
Same
have.
shit.
No, it's not that it was the same shit. It's that it kind of was the same shit, but it was more like the shock value has to be higher and higher every
Oh, yeah.
single
You gotta,
time.
like, yeah.
Now I feel
Yeah.
like in hip hop, that's where we're at because everybody's
does
rapping.
everything.
Everybody's rapped about being like black and be like you sent me that video of JID and you were like all pumped about it, but
Man,
you
I
got
did
shot
that.
at the end, and I was just like, oh, it's just like another video where a black guy gets shot at the end of it.
That one, I mean, at the end, I wasn't really my main focus on that one. Now that we're on camera and live, I get to tell you about it. You can't shut me out. Anyways, so what I liked about that video was because he was like chained up and he was like starving. And this guy's like trying to feed him some, and then he's like taking it away, fucking with him, and then he puts a microphone beat up like his mic right in front of him, and he's like making him rap kind of thing, like forcing him to do something, and then he like broke his ankle to get free.
Yeah, but
and
I
then he
feel
died
like
in the
that's
end.
just trying to raise the bar on the shock factor.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
just digged it.
When does it get to a point where it's too much? Like, look at, like, I'm a big X fan, like,
Yeah.
true and true. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like, at the core, but, like, if you go back to some of his old videos that, like, say, Look at Me, that was, like, one of his shockers that brought him to the map, you know?
Yeah.
When he hung that little kid at the end. Super crazy, like, and he defended it as, like, oh, it's artistic and whatever else. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but it was that shock that, like, oh, damn, you know, no one else is doing this, and I got all the media attention. It's like, no attention's bad attention at, you know, at that level.
Yeah, that's the thing though. That's why I feel like the shock level has to be higher. That's why there's all these songs about like suicide and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say that it's not cool. They're like trying to help people with suicide songs,
But
or
everybody's
whatever.
doing it.
But like it's happened a few times now. You know what I mean? And
I can
feel
name
like
3 right now.
I feel like it's just really marketable to
Yeah,
talk about
it
a
is.
song where like somebody is
It
like
was so
gonna kill
taboo
themselves.
before, and now it's like, oh, now it's okay
Yep.
to, you know?
It's just a market we're out there just tapping into,
Everything.
all around, man. But that's like everything. It's really hard because, look, I'm not gonna give any spoilers out to Endgame because I don't know if you've all seen it. You guys all see Endgame?
I mean, if you
Yeah,
haven't
I'm
seen
not
gonna
Endgame
say it
by
on
now,
here,
you,
but
We haven't
I've
out
not
there.
seen it.
yeah.
okay.
I feel like this is 21
Careful.
Marvel movies.
Careful.
21. Yeah, he's a big fan.
Calm
There's
down.
21 Marvel movies. Like, I gotta be honest, I didn't really care all that much at the end.
La, la, la,
I
la,
just
la,
didn't really
la,
care.
la,
I didn't
la,
really
la, la.
care about it because
But at Game of Thrones, though,
that Game of Thrones though had me caring though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That had
yeah.
me caring. They were like, okay, we've shocked people plenty of times. They're like, but how do we shock them and like make it?
you
Like,
should really
but
watch.
that's a lead up though. That's a long lead up to that.
Definitely,
to
if you
what's
watch
up
the
in that. But
video
if you
that
guys
was
haven't seen it-
afterwards, they explain exactly why they did everything. It was like, we expected you guys to think this, but this is exactly why. You
That
know?
shit had me straight scared.
Oh,
and I've been,
yeah.
and that's the
It was big
70th,
scary.
70th episode. But all right, man, I'm gonna flip the topic a little bit.
Hold on. I
what you
got one.
something?
I
What
got
you
one to
All right,
slide
all right,
in there.
slide in real quick.
So, like, entertainment, like black entertainment, to be specific, like, you know, whether it's been rap or like blues music, I love it because it's always like incorporated a message, like some kind of like hidden meaning beside it. What, you know, whether they're trying to step up the bar on the message or whatever it is, like it's always some kind of message about control. You know, like back in the day, I forget the name of the group, but they had this song. It was like, shotgun, shoot him before he run, shotgun. You know, and it's like there's white people out there dancing and doing the twist to this shit, but they're talking about their people being killed by slave masters. You know what I'm saying?
Agenda, yeah.
Always. So like, I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
what, like, set those bars, keep fucking raising them like to the most exponential level you can. Just speak your truth.
For
Yeah,
sure, speak your
definitely.
truth. But man, you gotta admit, it's like hard to be impressed by a lot of what's coming out now.
Yeah,
I feel
shock
like-
value is kind of going down because people are just listening to each other. It's,
Yeah.
You know, they need to go on a diet and soak up their spirit and their true essence and really tap in.
If you
Yeah.
dive deeper into like just art in the art community, like for example down in Phoenix, and you know where everybody's so close and like it, you know, there's always new stuff coming out. You start to see that nothing's original anymore, man. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't a single person that was like, oh, I'm gonna doodle this and whatever. It's like someone
Someone's already
saw
doing
that
it.
and
Yep.
then took it to like whatever. It's like everyone just builds off each other. That's how anything progresses. I don't think there's anything really original anymore.
Yeah,
Straight
well,
up.
that's the nature of artistry, though.
Yeah.
Too, you know, is to really pull from sources. But like, you're right. A lot of people are pulling from each other right now. Like that's really where it's coming from. You know.
Creativity is lacking, man.
I don't
Yeah,
think
it
it's
really is.
lacking. I think that we're at a point where people
Everything's been done.
No, I mean it's impossible. I mean,
Nothing.
it's impossible for everything to be done, but I don't know, man. There's just hip hop has been established. It's like, what's the next genre of music that's gonna come out?
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the next big thing, because I feel like rock and roll, everything else that kind of progressed into hip hop, it's been, I don't know, like, what's the next step? It's
There's
not-
a next
We
evolution
talked about
for
that
sure.
too.
yeah.
I
I
think
think there's a next step for sure.
yeah, I think it's gonna be around. You know what I mean? I think hip hop's gonna be around. But
Oh, yeah,
to be
no
real
doubt.
though, like rock music is kind of like disappeared. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's disappeared for the reason that like it wasn't really mainstream anymore because hip hop filled the role. But that's kind of like changing with culture. Like it just does that naturally. So like hip hop is we always talk about hip hop as always being super oversaturated. I think it's out the window.
EDM is starting to take like everything by storm. I feel like everyone's into this like EDM and raving, and
Yep.
I'm not really versed in that, so I can't really speak on it too much. But I see it everywhere. Like 5
Yeah.
years ago, I didn't even know what a rave was, man. I was like, cool.
Yeah,
You
there's-
know?
I don't know if the rave culture is picking up. Do you think you guys think?
Oh,
it's
I know.
picking-
I know it is. My cousin goes
Is
to
it? I think
it
all the
is.
damn time.
You think so? I'm just not in the loop with all the ravers. I
I've
guess.
never
I don't
been to a
know.
rave.
I just see it on Twitter and social media all the time
Yeah.
now, and I never used to
Yep.
see it at all. And I'm like, dude, like
Yeah.
these are
Some of
huge
those
things.
festivals too are huge.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
It's
it's
they're
kind of
giant.
like that's what it
EDC.
started off with the dubstep, man. Just like with the EDM, with the dubstep making your body move, man. And then people were doing drugs. It's kind of like Woodsfest and Woodstock, except for it's like the new age of it.
Yeah,
My
just-
nephew goes to raves and like I thought it was just like
Stupid,
just dumb at first, but like he taught me, or like he came back like showing me things that he made, like dream catchers. I'm like, yo, that's a freaking awesome.
That
dream
don't sound like a
catcher.
rave, bro.
Like,
that
it's,
sounds
it's
like,
a festival rave.
what is
though,
it,
You
like
know,
a-
like a camp out kind
Yeah.
of scene.
They're
like,
very community
Coachella.
based.
Yeah,
That's what I was
that's
thinking
that's
of.
the
Coachella.
cool thing about it. Like people just coming together and like just like putting the bracelets on. You can't hear each other, so like they're speaking through bracelets and through like.
oh, I didn't know that.
You know,
But
like,
is that really any different than any other concert? Because when
it's
you go
different
see,
from a hip hop
The last
show?
ski
That's
mask
true.
concert I went to,
Okay.
I about
Yeah.
died in the
Get hit in
mosh
the
pit, so I wasn't
face.
making no bracelets.
Yeah,
and that.
dude.
where'd
Yeah.
you go?
Ski mask, Juice World, that back in November, that shit was wild, man. Like huge
Oh,
mosh
yeah.
pit that
Oh,
obviously
shit.
evolved from. I mean, they didn't used to mosh in hip
I'll
hop.
tell you what. I used to go to metal shows, and
Yeah.
they have a very strong community. I feel like people like you'll be moshing, but I feel like if you fall down in
They're like,
a
"Oh,
metal
come on,
concert,
bro."
yeah, they pick you up, and you just keep moshing, bro.
It's
They-
feeling it, man.
Well,
They
you ain't making
want
no
you.
bracelets and dream catchers there.
They don't make no bracelets and dream catchers, but when you go there, I feel like when you because I went to a lot of metal shows, and I feel like everybody was so friendly because we were all there.
For one
and
reason.
and especially with that type of music, like you have to feel like you don't want to go to a Lamb of God show. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who go to see Lamb of God
Are
or
true
something,
like fans.
they're
dude.
like people who want to see Lamb of God and they want to get like hit in a mosh pit. They don't want to get hurt, but they want to like they want to get pushed around and like just feel like raw energy. You know what I'm saying? So it is.
Different vibe.
Yeah, it is very like community based still. You know what I mean? So I think that's like with across all music though.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Reggae shows, like you can see it. There's a lot of love at reggae shows, but
Yeah, when they do the pot of gold down at the
Yeah.
Tempe Beach Park, and they do the hip hop show on one side and then the reggae on the other, you got like all the space and like community on the left side with the reggae, and then the right side's like tight, and everybody's
sounds
like
cool.
trying to get up to the front, and nobody's letting anybody pass. It's funny, man, just to see
Definitely
different
different vibe,
attitudes.
bro.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, man. I want to flip the topic a little bit, guys.
Flip.
So we got a lot of people. You guys know that like dealing with your own self-conscious mind,
We're getting
can be
into this.
difficult.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys all can feel that, but I felt it. Just trying to get over, the negative side of yourself. And usually everybody's on the path to finding the higher version of themselves. It's kind of like what being a person is, right?
It's human. That's
So, but I know that a lot of people, and you see it when somebody, when they're really coming out of like their shell and becoming the person they want to be, like it's a beautiful thing, So what's something we could do to like kind of help people do that, or kind of encourage
Teach self-love.
that? Teach self-love.
Teach self-love, man. That's where it's at right there, because people are so concerned about being everybody else that they forgot who they are. You know what I'm saying? And so they forgot how to love themselves because they're
Yeah.
too busy loving everybody else.
That's good.
You
I
can't.
like that.
That's
Yeah,
good.
man. I mean, you can't like expect people to love you if you can't even love yourself. You know what I mean? I had to learn
Yeah.
that. So I think teaching self-love and
It's
being,
hard though, man, because just telling somebody that they need to love themselves.
Well, no,
in
you don't
different
got to be
ways
like
is
that. Just be
difficult.
like, if there's something you don't like about yourself, change it because you want to change it. You know what I'm saying? Don't
But
try
that's
to
still
focus
there's
on
still
being-
like a hard shell out
Oh,
there.
there
to
That's such
is.
break, you know?
Yeah.
a generic thing that I feel like it's a generic thing to tell somebody that has no idea like what the first step is to, you know, like
right.
it, you know, especially like, you know, kids coming out of high school and stuff
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
being
And like,
fresh into
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
we can blame it on social media or, you know, bullies in high school or whatever, like, you know, not wanting to be themselves. But when it comes down to it, I mean, it comes from honestly from our parents or just the way that we were raised. Like
That's a good point.
you know, like our parents have had, whether, you know, you had a good childhood, you know, your parents made a lot of money, you had a car at 16, or, you know, you don't have a car now.
You
and
didn't have to work for anything.
Yeah,
for
like
life.
it doesn't matter. It's like, I feel like that kind of like that ancestral like trauma is just passed on.
You
And-
accept the world for which it is presented to you. The Truman
Exactly.
Show. You know, you guys seen the Truman
Oh,
Show?
don't even
Oh,
get me
yeah.
started on
That's
Truman.
it, man. You know,
Yeah.
that's life, though.
That is. That's
You
a good
know,
point.
whatever you grow up seeing, that's what you become.
Well,
you
to
know, for the
kinda-
most
to
part,
kinda-
but we gotta understand that like what you're saying, teaching self love to people.
It's definitely part
I
of it.
feel like what we should be doing is breaking that understanding with people where it's like this is what life is when they grow up as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
Because
like
I
the-
had to
the
I feel
plan.
like I had to discover that. You know, like I grew up very like one way. Like I'm not like my parents at all. You guys
Straight up,
ask
bro.
you guys can ask Alex like and ask Sonia like I'm not like my parents one bit, and either one of them. Maybe my dad a little bit, but just like the arrogant side, I think. But yeah, but you know, like you really have to break that. And I feel like being around people who are also trying to find the better versions of themselves, or you see them doing it. Like I met Bryce Beasley here, and he was always just like looking for like a higher version of himself. You know what I mean? So like that's a good person to have around. You know what I mean? But
Always on the rise.
I didn't really realize that when I met him, but I think that you know, he's still always talking about love. He sounds like a crazy person all the time to me, but you know, he's a guru. That's what he does. That's what he does. He's like my shaman, you know? So, you know, so if we look to that, but yeah, if we like what you're saying, you know, we really are just like our past accumulated, but
Yeah,
how do we add new growth on top of that?
Honestly, just like you said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I mean,
You are who you hang with.
Yeah.
definitely. Because I mean, just like that artist thing, you guys all feed off each other, that same energy, that same, you know, But if you hang out with people that don't want to progress in life at all, like they don't have to. Your friends don't have to like know everything right away. You know, they just want to have that like itch to be better. But you know, some people are content with just staying in their mom's basement and smoking weed all day and playing video games, which is cool if you're happy like that, you know, 100%. But that's you are, you know, what you hang out with.
But if you're in your shell trying to break out of that, you know, and you're sitting in your mom's basement smoking weed and you want to get out of that, surround yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do, I think, you know.
yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah, you
shit.
shouldn't hang out with and be around the people that are bringing you down. They're
Yeah.
toxic, bro. That's toxic. You know
But how
what
do
I'm
you
saying?
identify toxic if, you know, that's
Take a
just
step
That's all you
back.
know.
You got
Yeah.
well, I mean that's a good point too, but take a step back and look at things that you don't normally look at. You know what I'm saying? Like an eye-opening experience. But you're good. That's a good point. It's different for everybody though.
I think like I always see it's so cliche now. It's like cutting the toxic people out of your life and really identifying what's toxic. I think is the biggest thing that we're blind to. I mean, just because your friend is going through a rough patch, just because he sits in his mom's basement and
Yep.
smokes weed all day, doesn't mean he's a toxic person.
Well, no, yeah. That's
You
how-
can't
right,
turn
but
your
you-
back
yeah.
on your friends.
Yeah,
either.
No,
man.
no.
It's like-
Especially ones that have been with you for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? But I get that.
Yeah,
I
but
think as individuals, we can all do a better job of kind of like, I was like saying, you know, putting the hand down in the depths and pulling somebody out. You know what I mean? With everybody
Yeah.
you meet, because you know when someone's having a bad day. And you know, like I said, Bryce Beasley, man, this guy, Dancing Stone over here, is a G at that. He sees people, and you know, he's always trying to pull people out from wherever that. You know, man, just take a deep breath. Just get yourself. So, you know, give me the spiel. Give me the spiel right
Just
now.
come back to the moment. If you're living in the now, then you've already won. To what you said, James, I would say just like it's self-love starts with surrounding yourself with good people. That's awesome. But speaking impeccably to yourself, that's one of the 4 agreements. It's just speaking and like not calling yourself an idiot or I'm stupid. I can't believe I just did that. What was I thinking? You know,
do that
like,
a lot.
just Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Just
like a lot, bro.
speaking. You're a
You
king.
know what? And you know, I'm gonna
You're
tell
a
you-
king, James. Why are you talking to
You know
yourself
what? I'm gonna
like
tell you.
that?
I'm gonna take a second and just tell you why I do that. Because I've taken a step back and I noticed that. You know why?
Why?
Because whenever I sorry, so you go. Why? So the reason
Tell
when
me,
I
little
do
Franco.
that is what?
I said, tell me, little Franco.
Little Frank.
Yeah.
Franco.
All right.
I'm sorry, bro.
Don't get me
It's
distracted.
been
No.
all day. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's all good, bro.
Running
I
short
am
on
my bad.
time. We
All
gotta wrap it up.
All right, anyways, so what it is like subconsciously, I'm like, if I say something or do something or someone's staring at me like you are right now, it's just like, oh, I know what they're thinking about. They're thinking about what I'm talking about, and they probably think I'm an idiot. So if I say something stupid, then I let them know, I know that you think that I'm an idiot, so I'm just going to say it myself. It happens like that, and it's hard to control, and it's a bad habit I got to get out of.
Let me
But
tell you,
I've been getting
man.
better, though.
You just said the word habit. I'm reading that.
Habit.
The Atomic Habits
Atomic
book.
habit.
Chapter
Habits.
2.
Yeah.
Chapter 2, Atomic Habits book is when you say something about yourself, you're identifying yourself as that thing. So if you say that I'm this type of person, say like I'm just a sad person. You're
now you're gonna be
validating
sad.
to
Yep.
yourself that you are a sad person. That's a terrible habit, but that's where we start. I think it's just kind of moving.
I think you ultimately like are what you say
Yeah.
to yourself. Kind of like we're saying right now. Like,
yeah,
I've dealt with that a lot personally. Just
for sure.
I'm a perfectionist, like to the T. Like
Me too, man.
It has to be
Yeah,
perfect or just
Yep.
like throw it in the trash. You know what I'm saying? So like trying to get over that over like the course of my life has been pretty tough. But I think just like telling yourself like kind of like you're saying, like you're not an idiot, or just like like whatever it is, that positivity that you can tell yourself, I think can go a long
Gas
way
yourself up.
for where you're
Tell
actually
yourself
going
what
with
you
yourself.
deserve.
Yeah, and it's also the energy, man. The energy that you're putting in the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a good place to stop, guys. We just ran on our second 30 minutes, so
Sick.
we're gonna
Awesome.
sign off.
Brandon,
This
you
is
the man,
Modest,
dude.
Yeah,
Modest
man.
Humanity
Come back
Part
and kick
4.
it with us.
For
Chill
real,
in the
man.
studio.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, come back, come hang out, dude. Just come
Got the
chill.
Brandons.
Come play some guitar with us. We'll make it happen.
Sick, man. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Let's have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.